critical moment in international relations is upon us, as the United Nations prepares to reinstate sanctions on Iran, a decision that could have far-reaching consequences. Let's dive into this complex issue and explore the potential impact. The upcoming reimposition of UN sanctions on Iran is set to occur on Saturday, a move that has already sparked controversy and raised concerns. This development follows a series of events, including a failed attempt to permanently lift these sanctions, which were initially imposed between 2006 and 2010 by the UN Security Council. The sanctions are returning due to accusations that Iran has violated a 2015 nuclear deal, an agreement negotiated by world powers, including the US, Russia, China, and European nations. This deal aimed to prevent Iran from developing nuclear weapons, but its collapse has led to a tense situation, especially given the recent bombings of Iranian nuclear sites by Israel and the US. But here's where it gets controversial. Despite these tensions, Iranian President Masoud Pezeshkian seemed to downplay the situation, stating that it's not as dire as some might believe. However, Tehran has warned of a harsh response to the reimposition of sanctions, which could further escalate the conflict. Attempts to delay the return of sanctions have been unsuccessful, with Britain, France, and Germany, known as the E3, triggering a snapback process, accusing Iran of violating the 2015 deal. Iran, for its part, denies seeking nuclear weapons. The European powers proposed a delay in reinstating sanctions to allow for talks on a long-term deal. But Iran has recalled its ambassadors to these countries for consultations. This move indicates a potential hardening of Iran's stance, as its economy already struggles under the weight of previous sanctions. And this is the part most people miss. The impact of these sanctions extends beyond Iran's borders. The country's currency, the rial, has hit a record low, impacting its economy and the lives of its citizens. Additionally, Iran will face an arms embargo, restrictions on uranium enrichment, and bans on activities related to ballistic missiles capable of delivering nuclear weapons. Other sanctions include travel bans, asset freezes, and restrictions on the supply of items for Iran's nuclear program. All countries are authorized to enforce these measures, and Iran will be prohibited from engaging in certain commercial activities involving nuclear materials and technology. So, what does this mean for the future of Iran and its relations with the international community? Will Iran's response to these sanctions lead to further isolation, or can diplomacy still prevail? These are questions that remain unanswered, leaving room for speculation and debate. What are your thoughts on this complex issue? Do you think there's still a chance for a diplomatic resolution? Or are we headed towards a more confrontational path? Feel free to share your insights and engage in a thoughtful discussion in the comments below.